Hi, first graders. It's Mrs. Gordon. And you'll notice today Mrs. Gordon looks a little bit different. I don't have my safari hat on. I don't have binoculars because our activity today is different. It's called a red word activity. And because I wanted you to be able to know the difference between the two activities that we have been doing, so I changed it up a little bit today. So we're still going to go on an adventure with an activity, but it's very different from our other videos that we watched. You'll notice I have Clifford on my shoulder over here. And Clifford is very important to our activity because it's called a red word activity. And what color is Clifford? Yeah, Clifford is red. So I'm hoping that when you see Clifford, you will associate Clifford with our red word activities. So he's going to hang out and maybe participate a little bit today. So he's going to just sit right there for right now so that he can watch what we're doing. For our activity today, you need some supplies. You are going to need a red crayon, a pencil to write with, a piece of white paper. If you have, it can be just a piece of blank white paper. That works just fine. If you have line paper, that's okay too, but a piece of blank white paper is perfect. And then Mrs. Hasty or Mrs. Anderson put out that you were going to need a piece of sandpaper. So the rougher the sandpaper is, the better it is. So if you have a finer piece of sandpaper right now, it's okay. It's okay for today. It'll work. But eventually you might want to get a rougher piece, and you'll see why as we go through our activity today. So red words, like the color of Clifford, red, are words that I cannot sound out. They're words that the letters in them don't make the sounds that we normally know they make. So our red word today is was. Was. Say was. Was. If you listen to the word was, I see an A in was, but I hear an sound. W, z. And I actually even hear a z sound at the end, but notice it's an S, not a Z. So that's what makes was what we call a red word, because I can't sound it out, because if I did, it would be s. That wouldn't make any sense. So I have to learn this word and teach my brain this word. So our activity today is going to help my brain learn it so that when I see it, I just know it. I cannot sound it out because the letters in it that are used to spell it don't make the sounds that we're used to. So that's why it's called a red word. So the word is was. Can you say was? Was. Yeah, let's think of a sentence with the word was in it. Was. I was going to go to the store today. I was playing outside yesterday. So those are some good sentences for the word was. So what we're doing today is we are teaching your brain this word so that when you see it, you just know it. For my brain to learn it, I need to see it, so I need to look at it. I need to hear it, so I know what it sounds like. And I also need to feel it. All three of those things together help me learn a word. So today in our red activity, we're going to do all of those things, okay? So the first thing I need you to do is take your piece of paper and fold it in half, or get someone to help you fold it in half so that you have a fold line in the middle like that. Okay? The only reason you need that is it makes it easier for me to write my red line. So I'm going to take my red crayon and I'm just going to trace on that line to make a straight line across my paper. I'm just going to trace on it. Okay, there's my red line. Okay? So that's the red bed. Remember our house and our spacings that we have? Yeah. So that is the red bed that my letters rest on. That's what that red line is. So when you write our red word today, you're going to make sure it's resting on your red line on your paper. Okay? All right. So, whoops. I lost Clifford for a minute. So what you need to do is take your sandpaper and put it underneath your paper. Okay? Just slide it underneath. And you can see, so I'm going to write on my red bed and make sure your sandpaper is at least to your red line. Okay? So I'm going to hook it on my thing right here so I can show you a little bit better how to do that. Okay? So on your table, you're just going to have your paper with your sandpaper under your paper. Okay? All right. So now you're going to take your red crayon, and we're going to write the word was on your red line. When you write the word was, you need to say each letter as you write it. Okay? I'm going to show you that first, so don't write yet. I'm going to show you how to do that. So on my red line, and I want it to write big, and I want to push a little bit with my red crayon. Okay? So I'm going to do it first, and then I'll have you do it. Okay? So I'm doing was. W-A-S. Was. And see how I followed that line and I drew right underneath of it when I said the word. Okay? All right. Are you ready? It's your turn. Here you go. We're going to say the first letter and you're going to write it. Here we go. Ready? W A S, and then I'm going to draw the line underneath and say was. Okay, and that's what it should look like. So now I want you to take your red crayon and I want you to trace over top, and I want you to do it one more time. So just take your red crayon. We're going to trace over top of what you wrote. Okay, here we go. Ready? W A S was. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're done with your sandpaper. So move that over there. Okay, so you should just have your word was there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do in a red word activity, we always do things 3 times because that is what they say helps our brain learn it. 3 times. So again, we want to see it, we want to hear it, we want to feel it. So now if you take your finger, if you had bumpy sandpaper, you should be able to feel the letter as you trace it with your finger. Yeah, I can feel bumps. So my W has become bumpy so I can feel it when I trace it with my finger. Okay? Hopefully you wrote your letters big like Mrs. Gordon because that makes it easier to trace when you do that. Okay, so we're going to trace it. We're going to say each letter. Then we're going to feel that line underneath it when we read the word. And we're going to do it 3 times. Here we go. Ready? W-A-S was. Again. W-A-S was. One more time. W-A-S was. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is arm tap. So what I need you to do is fold your paper on that fold line that we had. And you're going to hold it in your hand. Okay, so if you write with your right hand, you're going to put it in your left hand. If you write with your left hand, then you put it in your right. Okay, and we're going to hold it like a slope. And Mrs. Gordon's going to stand up here and show you. I want my arm to look like it's a hill, a slope. It's going to go down the hill. And the word is going to be at the bottom of my hand so I can see it. Remember, we need to see it, hear it, feel it. Okay, so we're going to see the word. I'm holding it at the bottom of my hand. I can see it. Okay, I'm going to hear it because we're going to say it and we're going to say the letters. And I'm going to feel it because I'm going to tap on my arm. Okay, there are 3 letters in this word. So the first letter, I'm going to tap up here on my shoulder. The second letter, I'm going to tap at my elbow. See, I'm using 2 fingers to tap, and then I'm going to tap at my wrist. And then I'm going to push those words all the way down towards the paper and read the word on the paper. Okay? So this is how it works. Okay? You're going to make a fist and put your arm in the air, your opposite arm, and you're going to load your word. So all we're going to do is pull down and say the word. We're loading the word into our arm tapping hand. Okay? Hand up, ready, say was. Okay, let's try that one more time. That's called loading the word. So let's try it again. Ready? Was. Okay, now we're going to tap. W-A-S, was. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Load it. Was. W-A-S, was. One more time. Load it. Was. W-A-S, was. Good job. Okay, now I'm going to take my word and I'm going to just set it down on the table. I'm going to stay standing because the next thing we're going to do is called sky writing. I'm going to write really big. I want to use my whole arm, okay? And I'm going to pretend that in front of me is a great big blue sky, and I'm going to write in the sky, okay? So you want your word on the table so you can see it because you want to see it and say the letters. Okay, and we're going to use our whole arm to write big arm movements. Okay, the arm needs to be moving from the shoulder. So I need to make big arm movements. So here we go. We're going to do the spell it and then draw a line under it in the air to read the word. Okay, here we go. 3 times. W, make it big. A, S, spells was. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Big arms. W, A, S, was. One more time. W, A, S, spells was. Very good. Nice job. Okay, now what we're going to do is we need our red crayon again, and you're going to open your paper up. Open it up. Mrs. Gordon will show you on hers. You're going to take your red crayon, and we're going to spell it. We're going to write it with our red crayon down here on the bottom of our paper 3 times. Okay, so you don't want it too big because you want it to fit on the bottom of your paper. Okay, ready? We're going to say the letters as we spell it and draw a line under it when we say the word. Okay, here we go. We're going to do it 3 times. Ready? W, A, S, was. Okay, let's do it again. W, A, S, was. One more time. W, A, S, was. Good job. Okay, take a really good look at that word because now I want you to turn your paper over. And I want you to get your pencil. And without peeking, see if you can write the word was at the top of your paper. See if you remember. Do you remember how to spell was? Did you do that? Good job if you did. You did a good job of teaching your brain what that word looks like and how to spell it. Good job. Okay, we're going to do one more thing. It's called dictating. It's called using my red word in a sentence. So you're going to write a sentence. So remember when I write a sentence, how I start and end my sentence. I need an uppercase letter at the beginning. I need punctuation at the end. Okay? So when we do a sentence, we pound out the words. So you need to put your hand like a little table. Okay? And make a fist. Okay? I'm going to say the sentence first, and then we're going to pound out it together. I'm going to show you. Okay? The pounding helps your brain remember what the words are and how many there are. So our sentence is going to be, I was sad. Okay, ready? Here we go. I was sad. Okay, ready? We're going to do it again. Make sure you have, let's try it again. Ready? I was sad. One more time. Here we go. I was sad. All right, you try it. Write it on your paper. Think about how we start a sentence. You have to pound it out again. Do that. All right, this is what it should look like. Ready? I was sad. Okay, check yours. Does yours have it spelled like mine? Uppercase I, was, W-A-S, and then sad with a period at the end. Now you're going to take your red crayon and find that red word in that sentence that we did and underline it. Oh, that's what it was. It was, wasn't it? So make sure if you had any mistakes, like you didn't put an uppercase I, that you fix that with your pencil. Or if you spelled sad wrong, make sure you fix that up and get your period there. Okay, let's read it together one more time. Ready? I was sad. Good job today. Very, very good. So each week we learn a new red word. We'll review the ones we started with. So next week we'll review was and see if your brain still remembers that word. Hopefully it does. And then we'll add a new red word. So Mr. Clifford will come with a new word next week now that we know how to do it. All right. Tell everybody goodbye, Clifford. Goodbye, boys and girls. Bye, first graders. See you next week.